J-Weeks Entertainment presents Black to the Basics, the People's Podcast. Jay Irvin, C Jizzle, J. Weeks.
Black to the basics, and no it ain't racist. Talking about what we're hated, getting underrated, thinking that we're uneducated. Black to the basics, 3 kings, 3 rings, that are talking about real life things, real life things. Old news, sports news, black love, self-love, you choose. Black to the basics.
Like I was saying, if black people just stick together, there's nothing that we can't accomplish.
Every day we fight for this life, trying to do good for our people, praying that they don't take our life. Every day is like good versus evil. Turn to the mic so we can talk about it. Vision so clear you couldn't see without it. It's time to get black to the basics, all about the culture of all the black faces. Black to the basics, and no it ain't racist.
Hey,
What's going on?
What's going
Let's
on,
go,
my people? It is Black to the Basics, aka the People's Podcast.
Yeah.
I am your host and 1/3, Mr. J. Weeks, aka 52 the Boss. Here with my mans.
It's your boy C Jizzle, aka Mr. Bring That Heat, Florida born, South Georgia raised. Woke up feeling like a bullfighter this morning. What's up, fellas?
Let's get it.
What's going on, man? You know it's J. Irvin, VA all day, 2 up, 2 down. You know what it is when I'm in the town. Let's go. What's going on?
Another week, fellas. How we feeling?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. You know, I always say, man, hungry and humble, man. That's it.
Yeah, speaking of hungry, I'm still gonna need
No,
my
listen.
need my gummy worms.
Now, listen, mind you, people, this is from our first production meeting, okay? My man said, hey, these are free. You can have them because I understand you're
I
hungry.
actually offered.
Herb was so hungry, I don't think he really saw what Weeks was saying. He was like, well, if you really want them, you can have them, but
Listen,
I don't really want
I ain't going to turn down nothing but my college. He said it was on the table.
All I'm
So
saying
here we
is
go.
you need to bring my gummy worms.
I got you. What's your cash out? I'm gonna cash out you $1.45.
It's all good, man. But I'm a little in my feelings today, man. I'm not gonna lie. You know, after watching the fight last night, see how it ended, I'm a little salty about it, man.
He a lot of salty, y'all. He cried in the car. He cried in the car, trust me.
Dog, I'm in my feelings, man. I haven't been this hurt since Mike got knocked out by Lennox Lewis, man. I was hurt.
You had a moment like that, CJ?
I did have moments like that. Big Tyson fan, shout out to the GOAT.
Yes.
Man, when you bit Holyfield ear, that hurt my heart. I knew why you did it.
Yes.
But you was gonna win that fight, man. It hurt me. That's when it was kind of like downhill for me.
He won him, though. He told us how headbutt him.
He
man.
did. He won him. What about you, Eric?
Yeah, well, you know, when Roy Jones, you know, got knocked out, you know what I'm saying? That was pretty devastating for Pensacola. So for those that know, I know I rep VA, but Pensacola is where I was born, so that was I actually was there that year. I was going to school there for a year.
Oh, so you felt the pain?
Yeah, it was like
See,
the whole
when I
city
seen
was quiet.
Deontay, well, like, okay, of course, I didn't mind him losing. You know, if you had to lose, okay, but that I just didn't want to see him go out like that. You don't want to see somebody just like
The whole fight changed though, man. When you lose the eardrum,
True.
I mean, us doing a podcast. If something was wrong with my eardrum, I wouldn't be able to sit here right now and holler at you all. So you can imagine me in the
let
ring.
alone fight somebody.
Yeah.
It's 270-some pounds boxing for it. Yeah, I was hurt by that. I had my feelings. I was in my feelings. Like, I was all last night. I just kept thinking like, dang, man.
He probably ordered the wings, had the mumbo sauce and everything.
The fight came on real late. Like I said, man, I was in the bed. I had to watch it on my iPad. I was like, man, like, and then for it to go the way it went, I was like, come on, man.
I was saying, I was like, dang, it's still Black History Month.
Hey, well, it is history.
Exactly. It's history. Not the one we wanted, but
Right.
but I know my man Deontay Wilder's gonna come back strong.
Yeah, shout out to
bigger,
the Bronx.
better.
Shout out to the king. Yes,
So
sir.
shout out, you know, to this day, we still rocking with you, Bomb
To this
Squad.
day.
It's already Bomb Squad.
We got posting no memes, man. We celebrate your greatness, brother.
Yeah,
So everybody
definitely.
One
lose.
loss don't define you.
It's not about the setbacks, about the comeback, man.
All
so you know what it
day,
is.
all day. We gotta get some love to my man. All right, my people, y'all know we can't start no show without educating y'all with the black fact of the day. So we gotta look to my man C Jizzle. What we got today, man? What we got?
The black fact of the day is brought to you by your boy C Jizzle, aka Mr. Bring That Heat.
What we got?
So one thing that ties us together, social media.
Facts.
We're all on social media. Some a little heavier than others. Some has been on it a little longer than
You
others.
know, like,
Yeah, I know. We gotta get used to it, right? We gotta get on it. That's where the people at. That's what we gotta do. All right, but just to dive into the fact, 55% of black millennials say that they spend an hour or more daily on social networking sites. All right? Studies reveal that while a majority of Americans believe that social media are important in accomplishing a range of political goals, Black Americans, 8 out of 10, value the platforms for magnifying issues that aren't usually discussed in mainstream media. An example of this, when George Zimmerman was acquitted in the shooting death of unarmed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin, the hashtag Black Lives Matter lit up the social media universe and ignited powerful dialogue around racial injustice and police brutality.
Right.
A recent study from the Pew Research Center shows that the hashtag remains relevant. It is used about an average of 17,000 times a day. Wow. Hashtag Black Lives Matter has inspired the start of other hashtag movements, highlighting the role of social media in modern American activism and protest, especially for underrepresented communities like the Black community.
So bringing awareness to it.
It's bringing awareness to what we can't turn on CNN and Fox News and hear about.
Yeah, well, we know Fox News and CNN ain't showing us no love.
No love. Let's be out here doing something crazy.
But it's good that you can use social media in that aspect to bring awareness to different things.
Yes, and so it's crazy. Like just coming here this morning, the street up.
Oh,
I saw
Black
Black
Lives
Lives
Matter.
Matter, and I said that's crazy that I already had that ready to talk about. And as you can see, that is just strong.
So where we are in Atlanta, there is a house a couple blocks down, and it has Black Lives Matter sign in their yards. Funny thing is, they're not black at all. I've seen the actual owners and everything. Like seen them, spoke with them. They're not black at all. So just seeing that it's also not only just us supporting that movement, but also having the backing of other people.
Because it's gonna take everybody. It's gonna take everybody.
Well, I mean, I think the bigger thing is that you have to bring awareness.
Yes.
Because if people feeling like, well, I don't see the issue, even though, I mean, you should,
Yes.
but, you got those people that just oblivious to a lot of things. So I think social media is very influential with that to kind of bring that. So that's definitely dope. Yeah, so shout out to that. All right, we got to keep our ear to the street. We gotta look for my man Jay Herb to give us that word on the street.
4, 3, 2.
So,
sir,
so today's word on the street is a little different. So I want to shout out realblackagents.com. Okay. So they have launched a website that connects home buyers and sellers with with the best black realtors in their city across the country. So this was based out of Harlem, New York. Shout out New York. Ain't you from New York, right?
Yes. Shout out. She's from not only from New York, she's from Brooklyn.
Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn?
Right. Do or die Bed-Stuy.
Yeah, you right.
Shout out to all my people in New York.
Brooklyn.
I saw with the Timbs on one day. I just put two and two together. No, I'm just messing with you. They wear Timbs and everything.
You gonna be on they tell you why you mad.
Shout out to New York, man. But no, man. So basically, it's a way to connect, us with people that look like us with the best interest when you're going to buy a home. So, when you go, like when you bought your home, right. Who was your realtor, or
being able to have that.
Being able to have somebody identify. And basically look out for the best interests of the African American people. So I thought that was pretty cool with that.
That's dope.
And then shout out to Mama Weeks for this one, man. This was out here in California, right?
Hey,
so
Dukes.
one of the largest black-owned law firms in California names its first black female partner.
These queens out here.
Women make a lot of strides, man.
They like, we will not sit still and be quiet. We gotta be all out here. Y'all shine, boy.
So the law offices of Zulu, Ali and Associates. That's the name of the firm. So that's, they have hired Whitney Ali as the partner. So she's a native of California. So she's kind of worked her way up, and then they, hard work pays off, man. So shout out to California and that group out there, man.
Let's go. So, and with it, this is going to air, the last Thursday of Black History Month. I feel like I should share something. I seen something pop up, and I know this has been going on for me. So y'all know I'm from the DMV, DC, Maryland.
We all know.
Heard the music before we started. You know what I'm saying?
But so DC has officially announced Go-Go music as the official music of Washington.
I saw that.
So this is huge for many reasons. So and when you were talking about the actual fact, it made me like, oh dang, that's dope, because this actually started. So if you know DC, Chocolate City, right? That was what it's known for. We everywhere, with any community, any neighborhood, there's a lot of gentrification going on. And a lot of times, gentrification changes a lot of the cultures and things. And so, in this particular thing, and I'm gonna just give it a brief story of it, but brief story. There's a store in DC that has a T-Mobile store, like an authorized retailer. They normally play go-go all the time, play music, of course. But with the gentrification of everything, people start complaining about the music. Like, what's the issue with this? But they've been doing this for 20-something years.
Yeah.
So, it got to the point where it was a big issue. They had to shut the music down. Of course, they had started the whole hashtag of Don't Mute DC. So a lot of the go-go bands, Backyard, the bigger names came together and really pretty much performed right there on the street.
Wow.
Started the hashtag Don't Mute DC.
Okay.
So when you
let's
said
go.
that, I'm like, I identified that immediately. So with that, they were able to push more awareness because when you think about DC, if I think of Mumbo Sauce, Go-Go, Chuck Brown,
Trash Red.
yeah, don't catch the bird.
My bad. My bad.
don't get it twisted. But that always has been a staple to me. So lo and behold, now it went to they've got everything official. So now DC has officially announced Go-Go as the official music of DC. And so I feel it's only right to honor them. I'm gonna give it just a little 30-second clip.
Play, because I was just, but before you play, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
For someone who's not familiar with it,
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. Go ahead.
what would be like the difference between go-go music and maybe like an Atlanta artist that you
So
So the bigger thing I would say is this: go-go is the most raw, in my opinion, the rawest original form of music.
Okay.
So when you have an Atlanta artist or even a down south artist, they got a certain type of beat that they're making in the studio. Go-go is coming from history, drums. You got cymbals, timbales, congos. So all these instruments, everything you hear,
Really?
which I'm gonna play a sample for, is all original. We're not in the studio trying to record. This is live that you're hearing. So it's an experience.
Yes.
So for me, go-go is literally just, it takes me back to my roots is how I look at it.
Yes.
So, and I'm just gonna play a clip for the people that's not fully aware of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give a little 30-second clip. That's all good here. I just had to play.
That's all.
If it wasn't here, I would,
That was the song before we started recording. He was in here.
Oh, yeah, this is the mild version.
you see the bandana he got on his head?
Hey, man.
You got served, stomped in your eyes.
Hey, shout out to all the people that's out there beating their feet when they hear that. But we just wanted to show a little bit. But just going back to the go-go, the reason why it's so important to me is, my mother had me at a very young age. And so I look at it, I always say to my mom, joke, like, we grew up together. So I can remember being as young as 4 or 5 and my mother coming back from the club and just hearing go-go music and just seeing it everywhere. Being able to hear people like Chuck Brown, the Godfather, rest in peace to him.
Shout out to
Just being able to hear and see, bands like Rare Essence playing outside, a junkyard band where it's a bunch of teenagers playing on buckets and things like that. So just seeing that culture from a kid to now being recognized as something like this is official that represents us.
That's amazing, man. And I didn't know that it actually was a genre or
It
has
is,
about
man.
certain music.
Yeah, so
That's dope.
and I think I like it more because a lot of times if you look at, like you said, Atlanta has a certain sound, New Orleans got a sound, New York got a sound, LA, so everyone has something, and you hear it all the time. People take little samples for it, but they never give the credit to DC for it.
Yeah.
So to be acknowledged,
That's what's up.
you might hear songs all the time for it, and you don't even realize it is
Where it came
influenced
from.
by that. Yeah.
Y'all remember Doug, the cartoon Doug?
Yeah.
The little song he had, drumming on the trash can.
Banging on the trash can.
Yeah,
You know about that.
Right.
Driving on the street like
Right.
that.
So all that, and that's in essence what DC is like. That go-go music is just it's an experience. It's something I can't even tell you about. You just got to experience it.
Oh, we just saw it.
But that was simple. So I'm gonna make sure that we're gonna set it up. We're gonna go to DC, take y'all some. We're gonna get the full experience for it.
Okay,
So make
great.
sure.
I'm holding to it now.
So hey, no problem.
Let's go.
We definitely gonna make it happen. So shout out to all my people in the area. But yeah, man. So today you actually started talking a little bit, which brings us into meat and potatoes, which is what we talking about today. So you already know we got to get into it. So today we are talking about something that's very popular right now: social media. It's often something that can be a taboo. Something that can be good, bad, all of the above. So today we're just going to kind of talk about social media and all aspects of it. And the first way we're going to start is kind of like, where did your introduction to social media start? And I'm going to look to my man, Steve Jizzle. Like, where did social media start for you? Were you an early adopter of it, or?
Social media started for me as a teenager. AOL Instant Messenger.
Oh.
When you can get on there and you know, what was it, your age, sex, and location,
Yes,
ASL, you know, you could just lie and you could be anybody you want. So I used to be, I can't tell you how many people I really was.
You better stop. Chris Hansen gonna pop out. Keep that to yourself.
You stupid.
It's funny because that's one of my favorite shows to go back and look at. It's so hilarious to watch some dudes try to talk themselves out of it, but then I go back and think like, that's crazy.
Crazy, right?
I was a kid on there, ain't no telling how many
AOL,
adults was on there.
So when you was on AOL, you was pretty much like up in your age.
I was, oh yeah, it wasn't even close. Yeah, I could have been the star quarterback at the University of Florida one day, or you know, this 40-year-old guy the next day, or 16-year-old. I was maybe what, like 13. So,
Oh, you was on.
Yeah.
So you was getting to try this too, or the drink to get the little AOL disc,
The little
to
CD
see
just covered
You
them.
know what? I think we actually had the real one. Like, yeah. Shout out to Harry. Yeah, I think. Well, my dad, he had to have it. You know, he had to have it. So
What was your screen name on there?
Cool Guy 3601. Cool Guy with a K. You understand that? That's how you spell it.
You try to sound like a frilly guy.
When I came up with that, I thought it was the most dope thing. I was like, man, I got the coolest name. I'm about to get all the honeys over here. That's what my mindset was.
Until it was bedtime, you had to get off the computer.
What you doing in that what?
What about you, Jay? What are your intros to social media?
For me, it was the MySpace era.
I never got into them. So tell me about MySpace.
Yeah, so MySpace used to get a lot of people in trouble. Because here's the thing, so it had like a ranking system as far as your friends, right? So
Okay.
you had like your top 10, top 15 or whatever, right? So like people used to judge where they stood in your life based off of what level of, like, you know what I'm saying?
So hold on. So who said it? The person who created the page?
So yes, so like for me, right? So typically the people you like, you know, close family, this would be the top, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like if you was dealing with somebody, you would see people put like their boyfriend or their girlfriend on there. But here's the thing though, when you creeping, as far as like, oh, I'm trying to see, you know, if they broke up or not, when that picture disappeared, oh, hey,
it's
what's
their
that? So when somebody fell at your top, tell you, oh yeah, that's an issue going on there. But yeah, so that was my introduction to social media, was the MySpace joint. You know?
Okay, so I had the AOL was my drink too, but I'm gonna take y'all back. Black Planet.
Black
was
Planet.
my.
Oh,
It looked like he was on.
Oh yeah,
My screen
he
name
was a
was
spokesperson.
Right.
Females Love J-Rob.
Look,
That's my
and you
drink.
look like a.
Hey, that was my drink, man. I used to be on there because it was the same thing. You could put location, DC, age, 18 to 24. Like, you could put everything. You could post on people's wall. I remember having a little guest book, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, ladies, go ahead and leave your comments on it.
Hey, I can picture wearing that same.
Right. Got the bandana on everything.
Yo, when Black Planet was the ish to me. But also, I remember Facebook when it first came out in 2005. And, you know, you had to be in school.
Had to be in school.
So
So
it was
email.
exclusive, man. But I just remember going on Facebook and looking, like, you seeing people like that you went to elementary school with, like, man, I ain't see you since you was like in 3rd grade or whatever. So, and then they opened it up to everyone, and then that's when all the crazy people started coming out.
Some
And you getting people sending you friend requests, and they 75, and you ain't got no friends.
Right. And see, that's
Or
why
no
people
pictures.
with Facebook, man. Like, you know, I use it, but I only got into it because like my family was so scattered out at the time. So that was the only way for me to kind of keep up with everybody. But then you get people like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I didn't rock with you in school, right? Don't send me a friend request now as an adult. Like, nothing.
No, but you said somebody, they know you, though.
It doesn't matter. Like, okay, but
I'm
I'm just saying, like,
you see this? Hey, dog, I ain't talking to you in high school. Don't think I'm talking to
Social
you now.
media, the whole definition of social media.
I got it. I understand. But listen, bro, if we didn't talk,
You gotta let who hurt you, man.
nobody. No, dog. It's the principle, dog. If we didn't talk in person, don't send me no friend request 30 years later. Hey, you remember? No, I don't. People.
Well, I will say for me, when I got back on Facebook,
When did you started off with Facebook?
I started
early
out
in the
with Facebook,
Okay.
and I got off Facebook. I know my queen is a jealous queen, and when I had to start explaining,
you knew what it is.
yeah, when I had to start explaining why I like this picture versus that picture, now I was like,
Oh,
it's just time for me to get off this thing, and but then I came back on my business, and then hence, from there, more personal.
Yeah.
But if I see somebody from high school, shout out Valdosta High, me and you didn't really rock like that in high school, and you reach out. I mean, we could be friends. I'm not mean like her.
We're different. We're different, dog.
So when somebody send you a request, what you do? Look at what y'all got in common?
It depends. Like, I'll look and see who it is, right? And then I'm gonna do one or two things. Like, if I really didn't rock with that person,
Right.
I'm gonna just hit the decline immediately, right? Now, I don't know if they get a message.
I don't think that.
You know how they know? If they go back and
They try to add it.
Right. Or I'll leave that joint sitting there for
Until it expires.
Right. So I won't shout out the company, right?
Oh,
But I have a manager, right, that I did not get along with, right? And had the nerve to send me a friend request.
Nah, that's a boy. Stop.
That joint been sitting on pending for 2 years.
Oh,
2
and he
years.
took it off yet?
Nah, 2 years.
That's definitely definitely a boy.
And every time he go back, he can see how long
That
he's been
joint,
waiting.
and it say pending. That's what I want you to
He's
see.
like, no, bro, you gonna sell me.
So bottom line, don't send Irv no drunk on social media. But Facebook, man, even like you said, I remember being in college and in the computer labs and there, if you didn't get on that computer, you
won't get on. Yeah.
People weren't getting off the computer. But now it's brought to a whole nother life form when it comes to that. But so now, like, you start off on one thing, you start off on another. How do you use social media now? Like, is it more business for you, personal, or?
I would say it's about 85% business,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest is personal. I do like, sharing pictures and, things like that with my different friends and
Right.
family members. But yeah, for mostly though, it's business. I treat social media, as a business.
What about the social media hater over here, Irv, man?
First of all, I do not hate social media. Okay, that's
Don't send him no request.
depending on who you are, you might get an acceptance, you may not. It's just hey,
Does Facebook still do? You can do limited view. Like if somebody you can add them as a friend, but they only can see whatever.
See, that's how I'm not that inventive.
I don't.
I'm
know
gonna
that.
look at
I need
that.
you to show me that.
Okay, yeah, so they usually have a little limited advance. I'm gonna see if they can still do that. But for me, I still use social media on the personal side. It's just more catered now. It's not as reckless as 2005 when I didn't have a wife and kids. But social media is definitely. I also use it on the business side. Shout out J-Weeks Entertainment. We out here.
Oh, yeah.
So I use it on the business side. So it's a great networking tool as far as for business. Even with my acting classes, a lot of my clients and stuff and students I get from social media.
Yeah.
So it can definitely be good, but it also can be bad,
Yes.
depending on how you actually use it now. And this shift us in right to my next point. Do you think that social media, and I'm gonna lean on you first, J. Irv, affects relationships?
It can if your foundation is not strong.
Okay, explain. What'd you say? Explain.
Right. So if you know that your significant other or with girlfriend, husband, boyfriend, if they can't handle certain things as far as being friends with somebody or just social media in general, somebody can comment or you may post something and somebody
So it's like every picture you put out.
Right. Now, if you have a partner that understands, hey, it is what that's just social media, then it's okay. But if you have someone that's insecure or really has some issues, it can cause problems. But it's like I said, if you go into it with the right mindset, then you already know what it is.
Exactly.
But if you don't go into it with the right mindset,
So I'm gonna flip it then.
Yeah.
So okay, let's say you got social media, right?
Mhm.
And you've had it for a minute. You get with your then significant other. Should you modify that if they have an issue with certain things on social media, or should it just be like?
it depends on the level of relationship that you're in.
Okay.
Like if you just starting out, no. I mean, just what I'm saying, because at the end of the day, it's no guarantee that you're gonna be around that long. You know what I'm saying? This goes for men and women.
Right.
But if you're married and there's things that take place and that your wife or your husband has an issue with, and they brought it to your attention,
Right.
then you have to I'm gonna change this
Mhm.
because if not, it's gonna present a problem.
Issue later.
Right, issue later, yeah.
Once you get to the point where you will allow social media to ruin what you got at home, especially if it's a good thing.
Your foundation ain't strong.
Your foundation ain't strong, and you got a problem.
So you feel that social media affects relationships as well?
Yes, it can affect them positively or negatively. And like I said, you may have someone insecure at home,
Right.
Don't like you liking this post, or why such and such like this, or they're worried about what you got going on in DM. And then you have other ones where, like, let's say, and I think Weeks, you're in this group with us. It's a marriage group,
Right.
and it's these people, uplift and promote the married culture and makes it seems cool for the most part. And I like being in that group, kind of just seeing how people ask different questions and seeing different perspectives, because your way is not always the right way.
Correct.
So I like that.
But to piggyback off of that, your ways may not always be the right way, but it's the way that works
Yeah, for you.
which goes back to something that it doesn't hurt my nerves, but I'm not gonna say overly happy, right? It's one thing to be happy in your situation, man, but it's like, it's some stuff is just like, it's to the extreme, like, come on, man, like, that's not how y'all live in that
real life.
So you talk about people like like I know your situation ain't like that.
Well, not even just that,
Okay.
just people, just in general. Social media can be used for a good thing, but it also puts out a lot of false narratives where if your relationship or you're not strong, you're going to look at them like, oh, well,
Larry and
this.
Susan, they ain't never fighting.
Right. And you don't know, Larry Susan could be fist fighting behind you. You see what I'm saying?
But we talked about that, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, we were talking about on fathers. Like, when you're on social media allows you to be whoever you want.
Correct.
You can be the person that's, it looks like you go shopping every week, but they can be pictures that are old.
Yeah, or pictures you cropped out.
Even relationships. Right. And do you feel like that people are trying to, I don't say stunt, but kind of like show off, like, to people when it comes to, like, their relationship with social media?
Yeah, yes and no, but it takes me back to a quote I heard before. I might have said this in a previous show, but it's like, you only impressing people that have less than what you have. So you shouldn't use what somebody else has as a measuring stick. Like, okay, well, Johnny does this for his wife. Why you don't do that? You see what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't know really what's going on behind closed doors. Like I said, everything that you can put on the perception like, hey, everything is great, and at home, your wife is miserable, your husband's miserable, stuff. Financial, it could be a bunch of stuff. So take social media for what it is, and not like really try to dig. That's
you got to take it with a grain of salt.
Correct. Yeah.
So you think that we should you? I guess the question I have more importantly, should you allow social media to even be a factor when it comes to relationships?
I guess it's not really if you're going to allow it. Just to kind of piggyback what Irv was saying, it's how strong that foundation is. Like right now,
so setting what it's going to be earlier.
Setting what it's going to be earlier, what you will and will not allow. What you don't want to do, what you don't want your spouse to do, or your significant other. You got to set that early and kind of build off that. But I'll say, when me and my wife first got together, we are both two different people, and now this social media is not a problem for either one of us. Okay. Compared to initially in the beginning, just trying to learn each other, and it was.
It's definitely a challenge in learning the ins and outs of things, because for me, with me and my wife wasn't a social media person. She didn't have Facebook or anything.
Your wife does not come off as a social media person.
Shut up.
She don't even call people, so social media is if it ever was an emergency, I had to text one of y'all, because she's not going to call me back or answer. I still love my mommy though. But for me, I had to find a happy medium, so to speak, because my wife was someone who wasn't on social media. I think I actually was the one who made a page for her on social media. And her, shout out to my brother-in-law, Jeremy. Her brother was like, we don't see you. Like, you need to get on social media. So he actually, kind of also pushed for her to get on social media. But I had to learn, now you're in a relationship, and not that you alter to the point where I'm just going to change everything, but you got to realize, like, if you're in a relationship, you might don't want to put the comment joint under
takes me back to my point, it's perception, right? So, shout out to Aubrey, man. Like, we don't go at it, but she will reshare something, right? And it could be something like, has nothing to do with me, right? Nothing to do with me. But the perception is,
they have an issue.
They have an issue, right? So,
you got to call me. You got to talk about something?
But she's like, no, literally, I saw something, I thought about, I just reshared it.
Right.
And I always say, well, that looks like we got an issue, or like sometimes
It's always the
I
optics.
call her and say, you good today? She's like, yeah, everything's good. What's going on? I'm like, oh, I saw you.
You had my mask at the
Everything
club.
all right. She'll be like, no, I just reshared so, and that's just for me looking at it. So I always tell people like the perception is like, don't, you got to be careful what you put out there because somebody can, just like how I mistakenly just interpret like, hey, I did something, had nothing to do with me. You see what I'm saying? So
No, I got it. But I can definitely understand with that. But you gotta know that the optics of things is much more important.
Right.
Like you said, people will slide in, like, trouble in paradise.
You know, when I post something and I think it's all sweet and cuddly, and then my wife doesn't like it or hit a love on that,
You upset?
I ain't upset, but I'm like,
no,
dang,
you see it.
you know what I gotta do to get some love, girl?
His eyes twinkling.
Shed a tear. But yeah, man, so it's
So at what point is social media too much to the point where people, okay, let's say, your wife, all right, she has a friend that's on social media, she posts a picture of her. Can your dude like that picture?
Of course.
Okay.
See, I'm not a jealous guy at all. Now you put your hands on my wife and come at her sideways, we got a whole different story.
So
But I don't want to be the only one that thinks my wife is attractive. I mean, I would hope all people would feel that you want, your significant other to look good, not only to you, but to others as well. So, but I mean, now check your tone. Now you can't just come out, oh, girl, you looking so good.
You got the freagle dress on.
You
got that freagle dress.
No, I don't have a problem with one of her friends, saying, oh, that's a nice picture.
Yeah,
I don't have any problem with that.
Just don't throw the heart out.
Just don't throw the heart out. Not in my old lady. Don't play them games.
Now we know Herb ain't allowing no.
Herb ain't.
No.
We don't want no smoke.
You can't even scroll by Harvey Page. What you doing?
First of all,
I had to call him on FaceTime to even request.
Here we go. We're gonna put up
all this for free.
false narratives, okay, for fake news. Here's the thing, like I've never cared, like, because here's the thing, right? This is not about being cocky, about being confident. I know what I do for my wife, okay?
Preach.
I don't need to post like every 5 minutes, like, oh, I don't need to be her MC.
Why you can't be MC? You don't push her as your WCW?
No, I will, but I show her in person.
Yeah.
I don't care what other people think.
So you going by the actions.
Right, like, what I'm saying, actionable items. So yeah, it's good to post something, but sometimes people just, it's Monday, let me post.
Yes.
No, you know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking people, but it's almost like routine. Like if I see this every Monday, like I get it. That's you know what I'm saying?
That's your crush.
Right. I get it. So my thing is to show her what what she understands, what I do for her, what my kids see me do for her.
Right.
That's more important for me getting likes of what. I'm thinking,
yeah.
Herb love his wife, and he getting 100 likes. I don't care about none of that. Whatever her friends do, like she has male friends, they like her pictures, whatever. I'm good with that, right?
Right.
She knows that. But once again,
it gets breakfast.
Well, here's the thing. So I've met a lot of her, guy friends, and that never really bothered me because at the end of the day, you can't be mad at them. You got to be mad at your spouse.
Right, they got to check that first. Yeah,
right.
Now I got a problem why you didn't check that.
But Aubrey's good. And she knows if somebody ever disrespected her in any kind of way, then it's another conversation. Not with her, but
About to say about you.
What about you, Weez? How you feel, man?
With me, I definitely it's a duality thing for me.
I know you don't play.
Right. On one thing, I don't really like people being reckless with it, but I also myself had to learn that I can't put out certain content or allow certain comments. So I was someone that was real reckless early in the game. So I had to dial back like, I can't post certain things. Or somebody throw a hard eyes, you killing a certain things. It's like, it's going back to the perception of things.
Yeah.
So on one end, I got to understand that I can't do certain things, but I don't want to stifle my wife. Like I'll shout out to her. But like you said, you getting in the comments it's a non-negotiable. Yes. Like, it ain't no conversation. So, but I just have a certain level of respect. Even with like our wives, I'm cool with both of y'all wives. But even if I contact them, I'm hitting you up first. Yes. And it's not that
Like when I tell that, bro, call him.
Hey, no, I said the same thing, and then he's still gonna. Hey, just so you know,
it's just I just know how things are perceived, and it's not that y'all ain't solid to do it. I just raised a certain way.
I feel you.
I'm with that.
But
But it's a certain level of respect that you gotta have.
Once I have E's contact information. Right? Once you give me that blessing, I don't text or call E like that. But if I know, okay, cool, she texted me whatever, We good with that.
Yeah.
But you know if
Yeah.
Earth gave you the blessing, like you don't have to. Hey,
But I'm saying not everybody's gonna come to you with the level of respect. Now, if somebody work with your significant other, they hitting her up at night or something, it's like, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? It's like not everybody gonna have that level of respect to understand. Like that's your situation. I'm not about to just jump in there based on whatever. So you gotta get that nod first. All right, now we go. So it's definitely for me. I had to learn like, okay, where's the happy medium?
Yes.
Where can I post? Like I want to be fly, but I don't want to get to direct the wrong attention. Because like you said, if you post something and the wrong caption could mislead people thinking that it's something else,
and it's not, right?
It is really not. But that allows us to shift to something that's completely different on the social media side. What on the flip side do you feel like has been a good part of the social media?
So
Besides the thirst traps.
No,
You don't think thirst traps are good though?
no, they're not. Like,
I'm talking about from Arby, dog.
That's like, no, they're not. You not
Set up for.
Well, you got a wife or something, dog.
I guess it would depend though on if you were, I guess, a single person. I mean, thirst trapping ain't.
Well, okay. Here's my thing I have with thirst traps. I know we're gonna put the dive at, but I'm gonna go back. The problem I don't have a problem with thirst traps. The problem I have is that guys have it's a different standard for females. Like we feel like they can't post whatever. Like I feel like that females should be able to post whatever they want. If you want a thirst traps for it. But on the other side, we're gonna be like, oh, she posting this old thirst stuff, blah blah blah. And on the flip side of that, they gotta understand the type of attention that you attract.
I was about to say that. So
Like that's what attention you want. I mean,
Right.
if you're grown,
Just know that
age
comes
you
with
blessed.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
gotta know.
I don't have a problem with them posting the thread. Like, hey, do you got it? Flaunt it.
Right.
You know, hey, say it loud.
But I think it should be more than just that on social media. So like you know how you hear women complain, well, all these guys in my DM. Well, you're inviting that
Look at your
situation.
pictures, son. You know what's going
But
on.
social media has made it to the point where like
Right.
if a teacher or
Mhm.
somebody's posting something with some kids or doing something,
Right.
it doesn't get as many likes. That's not
Oh,
what's
of course,
popular.
it's
But if
positive.
you have that same teacher, you know, she's attractive, she's twerking, she gonna get a million different
Yes.
views. So what message are you sending to the youth or like
True.
for the young kids? Like, okay, so this is what I need to
True.
This is what I need to do.
But only women get that perception because if a woman posts that, she's automatically labeled as someone has to be the institution of, hey, you represent these girls. If a guy go there and post a joint and throw money on the joint and throw drinks and all that, it's just cool. He having a good
You just a
time.
guy.
So that's why I said the standard is different.
It depends on the person.
I don't know what I'm saying. Ladies, throw your thirst traps out there, accept the attention, and stop leaving people on red and the DM checking. You over here looking for a dude for a husband, and he probably out there looking for you.
You know, hit you up 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
Then you get mad when he
they
on
talk about
fire.
ain't no good dudes. You left them on red. But anyway, man, I digress. But back to the positive side of social media. What about you, CJ? What do you think has been the good side of social media?
Just to kind of tie back in to like the Black Fact this morning.
Right.
Black
Bring
Lives
awareness
Matter.
there.
Yeah, it's like you bring awareness, and I will say, since we have started this podcast, I have learned so many dope things
Right.
about our people,
Yeah.
and it has been on social media.
Right.
Like just to shout out my dude JD, he mentioned to me that Stan Lee, the Marvel guy,
Yeah.
X-Men, they were a direct correlation from the civil
Martin
rights
and Malcolm,
movement.
right?
Yeah, Martin and Malcolm. So
Okay.
it was like I didn't know that, and I was like, man, that's so cool.
My question is, are you a Marvel person?
I'm not really a comic book guy.
Right.
at
So
all.
so for me,
Go ahead, nerd.
You know
drop
what?
some nerd facts on this.
So you know what? Y'all gonna have somebody that had these false.
In 1963, there was
It's comics. Go ahead, drop this nerd
You know
facts
what?
on
We're gonna
this.
have a new segment
No,
called
it's-
Fight Club.
it's like-
Or we just go at it.
Come on, man. Give the people. Give the
No, I
people
was just saying, like, so for me, like, so me being a Marvel person, like, you know, stuff like that, I would know. I wouldn't necessarily need
Mhm.
social media because I've already kind of
Yes.
know it. But to your point,
Yes.
for someone that doesn't know
Well,
that,
we need the
it's a
thing
great
is-
resource.
Yeah,
to
we
get.
got to share those things
Yeah.
because a lot of times we don't share the resources for it.
Exactly.
So I think the bigger thing that I enjoy now, because y'all know me, I love to laugh, I love to joke. Like 98% of the time, I'm always laughing.
Find that funny stuff, man. We shared in group meetings.
Like-
Find that funny stuff. That's why I use another outlet just to get back.
I just look at life is already serious in itself, so I want to spend most of my time laughing. I'd rather joke, send some text, go back and forth in the group, me going back. But I love the expansion of all these comedians coming up. Like there's so many different comedians on there. Desi.
That dude, boy. Yeah, shout out, bro. Desi, bro. You are one of the funniest dudes.
Yeah,
on the
Desi
planet.
Banks, J. Cole.
Mr. Bankshot, I think that's what his name
Yeah.
is from. Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig Lucas from DMV.
Oh yeah, David Ruffin on there, A. Pap. It's just so many different people that are on there. Just hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Even with the 80,
Drewski?
yeah,
Forget about Drewski.
even with the 85 South show, just the influence of social media. Before, in order to get on with certain things, you had to know the right person.
Yes, get on.
Now social media has allowed us like you can do whatever you
If
want.
you're talented, somebody's gonna find you.
All day.
It's what it is.
So I definitely think there's a influx of that with the social media. So that's definitely the good side. What do you feel like has been good from social media?
For me personally, just being able to connect with my family. You know what I'm saying? Because like my family, like I said, is scattered all over the place. Sometimes people don't respond to texts, phone calls. Y'all know who y'all are. But you see them on Facebook.
Be on Facebook.
Be on Facebook.
Everyone be on that Joe post.
Now, it's funny you said that. So like, I got a friend request right from my grandfather. Yo, like,
Oh,
Yeah.
he hit with it.
shout out Paul Dunn, man. When I saw it, right, the first thing I did pick up the phone because the picture was like an American flag. I mean, his flag from the military.
Okay.
And I called my uncle like, yo, Uncle V, yo, you know Granddad on Facebook? He was like, yeah, dog, I got the same request. So it gives me an opportunity, like I said, to connect with my grandmother in Pensacola. She has
Right.
Facebook. Like she me, I saw your podcast, so saw your clip on Facebook. So my grandma watches, you know what I mean? So
That's
shout out
dope,
Rain,
man.
love you. But yeah, it allows me to connect with my family. So that's what I love most about social media.
Yeah, and that brings us to the next part. How does social media affect when it comes to families? You know, now with TV, you got to kind of monitor a lot of things with your kids when watching, and social media is like it's like the gift and the curse. How do you feel like it affects now with families when it comes to social media?
You do have to parent your children. I know we done said that a million times.
Mm-hmm.
Social media can have real bad ramifications. If your child is on there doing stuff they don't have any business doing, I mean, that can wreck everything. The bullying, the cyberbullying, different things like that, leading to people killing themselves these days, man, that's devastating to these families. So you have to really, like I say, parent your child, limit what they can do, limit who their friends are, go behind them and check it. But then it also can be a good thing as well. It also can be a good thing. I know, like, I like to share a lot of stuff that I see on Facebook and in Twitter with my son. He doesn't have his own page, but if it's something positive and showing us in a good light, and I'm coming in, then I might even go to that person's page and say, see, man, your dad's not the only, like, pro-black, unapologetically black person out here. Look, it's other people like us out here.
I even like it on a simpler scale of just that you can literally look at Facebook when you get the memories that comes up, right?
Oh, yeah.
You look at like, dang, I remember when King was like this. I remember, baby girl Lola started playing basketball. So different things, you can literally watch your kids grow up from that. So it's definitely good on that side. What about you, JR?
No, I was gonna say the same thing. Like my daughter was just born in October. A lot of my family is not here. So that gave me an opportunity. So my grandmother, my grandfather, they couldn't be here. I can send them pictures. I can post stuff. Baby Logan is here. Stuff like that. Or like when Parker has stuff at school that family can't get to. That's kind of like how I use social media. Send information out so people can like I said, watch your kids. So
Man, it's so many people like that I know that have kids, and I feel like I know them. I've never even met them. Like even with like my wife's friend, Chocolate is her name. I don't know her actual real name, but she calls her Chocolate.
Is that her real name?
I don't know. Don't try to get me in trouble. But Monshelle, yes, that's her name. Monshelle is her name. Her daughter runs track, and and she not only runs track, like she be smoking.
She runs track.
Like I literally had to ask her, like, is your daughter this fast or these kids this slow? Like, I'm talking about like 3-4 seconds. That don't happen in track and field. So things like that. Even shout out to my man Corey Collins Sr. His son Corey Jr. Sonny, he plays basketball. I literally watched him from the driveway dribbling the basketball to now my man playing AAU and getting buckets. So being able to see, you know, kids grow up that you don't even know. It's sometimes you may not even see them, but you know that's your people's kids that you know from high school, and watching them grow up is like you feel like you know, like I feel like I'm right there.
It's like it's not as good as being there, but it's like it's the closest thing we got. And I just think it's dope. Like even Herb was saying, you were saying with family. My sister, you know, lives back in Valdosta, and she has 2 beautiful kids, one on the way. Congrats again, Julius and congrats. But seeing my niece and nephew, and just, you know, she posts on a regular, being able to see them. When I do see them in person, it's not like oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in so long. It's like I saw you taking pictures,
just
playing with
makeup personally.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty cool. And then they can see Uncle as well. No, I'm trying to grow the beard out long so they know who I am when they see me.
Low key hate. It's all good. I finally passed the Anthony Hamilton stage, but it's all good.
You definitely
It's coming, bro.
It's so good, but definitely, I definitely think that it can definitely be a useful tool, but you got to make sure that we utilize it the correct way. But what are your last thoughts that you have really on social media? I'm gonna lean on you first, J.R.
Be true to yourself, man. Like, you know, don't get on social media and just, you know, put on that front, like, you know, you're.
Why they can't stunt, Herb?
No, it's different between stunting and.
So you said if I get my tax money, I can't go in there and post a picture.
No, you shouldn't.
What they call it, bankroll?
Let me tell you why you shouldn't do stuff like that, right? Because people, like you always say, they never sometimes are happy for your success. You posting your tax money, and it be somebody like, oh yeah, I know where we stay at. Yeah. I'm gonna come get that. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be mindful. And I got a homeboy, man. He has a cousin that's always posting like, I did this, I did that, and flashing money, dropping his location. Like, bro, like, not only that, but you know, like, but people will come, you know, people will come see you thinking like, oh, if you put out this tough guy persona, I got money. It might be some real people out there like, oh, I want to see that.
So yeah, Pop Smoke, right? Rest in peace. I did hear that it was a home invasion, and it was something that he had posted earlier. He had his address, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't even thinking about that.
But just piggyback off of that, I wasn't going to mention that, but now we bring it up. So here's the thing with that, right? The clout chasing, social media. There was a young gentleman, I don't know how old he is. He made a post stated, hey, listen, y'all, I'm the guy that gave the 4 shooters the address. Apparently, now this is once again not confirmed. I just saw this gentleman clout chasing.
Yes. Right.
He was like, apparently he owed these gentlemen some money in LA.
Oh, wow.
The gentleman was following Pop Smoke on social media, so he got the address, gave it to the gentleman that was looking for him. Right? He was like, well, I didn't know what he was going to do with it. But 2 things wrong with that. One, why would you snitch on yourself? That's one. Yeah. 2, why would you even if that's not true, why would you post something like that? That's unnecessary attention. So that goes back to what I'm saying. Stop asking for trouble because he has people, he has family back in Brooklyn, New York.
Right, New York.
Yeah, and it could be a lot of ramifications for something with you trying to clout chase.
So be careful out here with social media. And like you said, you got to use it wisely.
You have to use it. That's what point I was going to make. Social media is what you make it.
Right. True.
My social media, if you follow me, it ain't nothing but fun. We laughing and we cutting up and we learning about Black history and things that we got going forward. You have to, can't let your kids get on social media too early. My kids, they see my page and they see kind of how I run it. You got to teach them the right way. You got to teach them, like even episode 2 ago when you were talking about Lola, and that I can't even walk up and tell them like, hey, you're beautiful. Oh, I know because my dad told me. But as much cyberbullying and kids having self-esteem issues, you have to let them know like the opinion that they're getting at home is more important than what they're seeing on social media. Exactly, because the person that you think you chat with may not even be that person. They're pretending themselves. So you have to all types of that. So you make sure social media is what you make it. If you want it to be fun, if you want it to be exciting, if you want it to be educational, if you want it to be for your business, that's what it's going to be. But if you allow it to be something else, that's exactly what happened. You allowed it to be something else.
And you don't be out here trying to create this false narrative.
What about you, Weeks? You know what I'm saying? You always flow in the convo.
I mean, for me, social media is definitely, my thoughts on it is use it to your advantage. I'm always someone who's looking at what can I get out of something. So,
facts. That's 100% facts.
That's just real.
Calculated, man.
When I get something, I'm like, okay, how does it benefit me? So even learning, I had to learn how to use social media from a business perspective. I was the reckless person, typing on there all types of drink, put every type of quote, talking reckless, wanted to smoke with everybody. But I can't be the CEO
Say,
and
not
talk this
Mr.
breakfast
Weeks.
like.
Oh, no,
Yeah, right.
You see what I'm saying? So you say, ain't God good? Won't he do it? So it just allowed me to see that you have to realize what type of energy you're putting out there. If you're trying to attract a certain thing, to even like the comedians, when they started posting videos on Vine, on Twitter, YouTube, they kind of had an idea of what they were trying to do, and they stuck to that. So be specific in what you're trying to do. Like if you want to go in there, you want to stunt, okay, you can stunt. Ain't no problem with that. But just understand that when you do,
What's coming behind?
somebody who really know you, like
Well,
it ain't really like that. So you got to find that. So that's how I look at it. And then from just on the personal side, I'm the same way. When I post stuff, it's 90% is definitely jokes. Like it's gonna be
I'm gonna
jokes.
have a good time.
Or-
That's what it is.
and really be intentional in your purpose of what you're trying to do. If you want to go in there and you want to throw your thirst traps on there all day, just that's cool. But just know
Know the
that
energy
there's gonna be a
that's-
lot of eggplants being thrown at you. So just be safe.
I had a conversation with a coworker.
Yeah.
And she basically asked me that I feel sorry for someone, not to get into details.
Yeah.
But I said no, I don't, because this person kind of goes out of their way
Yeah.
to they
Do
go
different things.
they go out of their way to make sure you know how they feel. So I'm
Right.
like, if you go that route and you talk in front of every camera, you posting about this, posting
It's
about
gonna
that,
happen.
you're gonna get the negative energy. People gonna agree with you and people gonna disagree with you.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
And I would say my last thing on that is this, and this one is very important to me. We spend too much time focusing on what everyone else has. That
Right.
we see a celebrity post this, they got this situation going on, this happening with your life, and we spend so much time having all these opinions and thoughts about it. Don't
What about
Like-
your home?
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
what about
if,
you?
if any celebrity posts something, does it affect me in any way?
You gonna take the
Is
money
it gonna
off my
change
table, food
my?
off the
Is
table?
it gonna change my lifestyle? No. So we gotta really look at ourselves and like worry about what's gonna really affect us.
Right.
Certain things it don't really make or break you, so I can really care less. So when people ask me stuff like, "Why do you feel about such and such?" I don't. Well, but you don't see- I don't. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't adjust my day. I don't wake up and it don't alter my things. So we gotta get back to
do
that.
though, bro. There's some people
Yeah.
that wake up and they got to.
And they
They
feel
gotta
like
have-
they got a jump in opinion or give like something. I feel like everything doesn't require an opinion.
Yeah.
When it comes to things.
But that goes back to something else that I know I sound like I'm hating social media.
Go ahead, get
but-
on your soapbox.
Right.
Tell them
Like,
what-
okay, so if it's like, I'm gonna use prime example, that Black Lives Matter thing, right? That's a great movement, okay? Great movement, brings awareness. What I hate seeing is, I call them the fake activists, right?
Yeah.
We on social media, oh, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. But then behind the camera, you know what I'm saying, you care less. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Well, you trying to ride the wave.
right, and I think more people do that now. I think that's more
course.
popular now, where if we really wanted to get stuff accomplished and we took that same energy
And switch it.
and switched it,
Right.
like a lot of stuff that happens in our communities
Yeah.
would not be happening if we were all on the same page. Well, we're getting there.
Yeah,
We
you
just
just gotta
gotta
be
make sure-
honest. Like
Yeah.
even myself, so not to keep that going back on, people that have passed, shout out, rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle and his family,
Yeah.
Lauren London. Rest in peace. But when Nipsey, was murdered, I wasn't someone I didn't know Nipsey. I still posted rest in peace because you're still a person, you're a human. But I
You
wasn't
don't
in
respect.
there making it seem like I was this, I've listened to all this music.
That's what you
And I
had.
know all of these things. I didn't. I can admit I didn't know. But it gave me an opportunity to bring awareness to, okay, let me listen to
Listen
this.
to who's
So I went back and got to understand and kind of got a feel for his music. But sometimes we feel like people didn't like Kobe, but all of a sudden now everybody is a Kobe lover. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's disingenuous. So that's why I always say, don't confuse the congratulations and all this and support. People don't really care. They don't really care what's going on with them. But any last thoughts you got, man?
Like we were just saying,
Go ahead,
you
go ahead
have,
take it to church.
yeah, I was gonna say, you just have to make social media, work for you. You can't allow it to negatively, affect what you got going on in your home. And if you do, it's because you're allowing it to. You can't worry about what the next man is doing. You can't worry about your neighbor.
Take
Of
care
course,
of
you
take
can
care of your
be
situation.
concerned about your neighbor if something's not going right. Don't get me wrong, but you have to take care of home first. Always worry about what Joe Smoke or Joe Blow got going on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that we got to go ahead and give a shout out to
Shout
that
out.
one. And now we got the shift in my absolute favorite part of the show. absolute favorite part of the show. To tell us why you mad, son.
Question. I'm gonna tell you why I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you why I'm mad. I'm gonna tell you why.
You got my man C Jizzle. He was hyped when he came in here, so I'm like,
So much happened, right?
Yeah, he tried to tell us earlier. I'm like,
They didn't want me to give them that five.
So go ahead and tell us why you mad, son.
All right, so I actually have two.
Oh,
Wow, man.
serious.
All right,
Tell him why he's angry.
Yeah, tell them why. So my first one, a little bit more lighthearted. I hate when you give a compliment to someone, they can't just take the compliment. It has to be, oh well, you're only saying that because it is you're required. You're saying that because of that. I'm like, if I tell you, hey, those are some nice shoes. Hey, that dress looks amazing. Hey, man, that's a dope hat where you get it from. Just take it, smile, and say thank you.
Just take the compliment.
Just take the compliment. You don't gotta be all that. And why this person said, that bothers me to my core. When I tell somebody something and they got a rebuttal for it instead of just smiling.
You over here big man.
I'm big man.
I just got to ask, let me get that back. Let me get that compliment back.
You know what? You're right. I didn't mean it. But that's my
Tell you why you mad. I could definitely understand that, man. It is kind of frustrating when you be like, oh man, that's nice, and they be like, well, this old. So
Now, let me ask you a question though. If you give a compliment, right? Somebody, oh yo, those some dope kicks or whatever, and the person said, oh I know. Then how do you take that?
Well, I'm gonna take it as I'm not complimenting you no more. So I'm not gonna let it hurt me or eat at me. I'm just like, all right, that brother right there ain't getting nothing else good from me. It is what it is.
Dusty old shoes.
They were dusty anyway.
What's your second one though, man?
Yeah, I'm curious. What's the second one?
My second one is the Black Lives Matter.
Mm.
When you have non-black people who take offense to Black Lives Matter, I kind of just want to put it in perspective for anyone listening who doesn't really understand the movement. Black Lives Matter is not to say that other lives don't matter.
Correct.
But let's say you live in a neighborhood and your house is on fire and you call the fire department.
Yep.
And the fire department decides that they're going to stop at every single house and check on every single house before they come to yours. When we say Black Lives Matter, we're saying that our house is on fire right now. And we need everyone's assistance. Not to say white lives don't matter, not to say Hispanic lives don't matter, but it's just to say that right now there's an issue going on with our people and we need everyone to recognize it. So for the people who kind of get up in arms and like, oh, all lives matter, blue lives matter, we're not saying that they don't. But right now our house is on fire. We call it 911 and we don't need to stop at every single house before we get to ours.
True.
That's my last time.
I mean, it would be like if you were at a cancer walk and you like, well, what about leukemia?
Yeah, it's like, come on, man.
What about breast cancer? It's different things. So you got to understand that just because someone is trying to highlight a certain topic or subject, it doesn't take away from something else. But I think the bigger thing is we shouldn't have to say it.
You shouldn't have to, but that's what bothers me. People get so upset when they hear Black Lives Matter. And it's like we're, again, not saying that all lives do matter. Life is precious, no matter what color. All life is precious. But right now, there's a lot going on in the black community, and if you can't even recognize it without getting upset that we're not including you, it's like that just boggles my mind.
So, and I have a question, right? So when does it get to a point where we don't necessarily need the opinion from outside people, right? I'm proud black man, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we are some of the most special people on this earth. People take stuff from us all the time.
The whole
talent,
world.
yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's out right now, you can trace it back to us.
Okay.
So when does it get to a point where us as a people decide, okay, hey, we don't need X, Y, and Z. We're gonna do it ourselves, and because at the end of the day, it seems like we're always going to still continue to fight the same fight. So when do we take back?
I don't necessarily think that it's not a matter of we don't need every outside forces. I think it requires everyone to kind of get in unison. But I think the bigger thing is we have to understand that we don't have to get the acceptance.
Gotcha.
I think most times we're trying to prove like accept me, like
We're trying to
me.
get it to that table.
We're trying to
have our own table.
Correct. So a lot of times, even I'll use myself as an example. When I created J-Roots Entertainment, I wanted to have a company that was for me and people that looked like me, one. But more importantly, it was opportunities that weren't given to most people. Because most times when you're in the entertainment industry, they're looking for people that's already established, already got a following, got this. They're looking for the next big thing. if you're someone who's just getting started and see just say, yo, I want to be an actor and I want to do this and this, the people that have the big high studios, they're not looking at you.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have something that was unique for that person. So, okay, you can get something that opens more doors. So sometimes you don't have to try to say, hey, accept me. I'm going to go over here and create mine. Even when we had the hashtag, the Oscar So White, we could have literally had our own show that we had. So we got to highlight those shows.
But that's you're speaking exactly what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. So instead of looking, trust we need everybody. But
Right.
it should get to a point where, okay, you know what? We've been banging on the table. We've been doing this, X, Y, Z.
Create our own.
So create
Pool our resources
we need to promote because we can do that.
create our own for it. And once you do that, that brings people. Because if I see that you start a construction company, right, and you got people and it's cool, and then once it start booming, I'm gonna take notice of that because I see it going.
Correct.
So it's the same thing. Once you start being successful in certain things, it's gonna automatically draw.
Realize the power we are very, very powerful.
Yeah.
Gotta keep it going.
What about you on as far as what he was talking about? At what point does it change or anything that we can do?
It does depend on the situation that you're talking about. Like, Black Lives Matter came from us getting shot in the street by police for stuff that other cultures and races get away with.
Right.
Something like that, we do need everyone. Like if a police officer shot an unarmed black man, there should be people in his community that's looking at him like, you were wrong. We cannot allow that to happen. You had no business doing it. Until that happens, things like that won't necessarily change.
Correct.
But just as far as other things like, three brothers got together and decided that we wanted a powerful black podcast
Right.
to highlight the culture and do everything positive. So we didn't look to get anybody's approval. We just put this thing together and we made it happen.
Yeah, because we gotta understand the power that we have.
Yes.
Once we come together to create something, we can make it happen.
Absolutely.
But we gotta stop. We gotta stop asking for opportunities. Once we stop asking and saying, "Accept me," and just, "Well, I'm gonna do me and create this," then you create your space for it, and that's gonna bring the people.
Yeah,
for it.
absolutely.
That's how I look at it.
No, I just we same views. That's all. Just,
No, it definitely something
That was a
we
great
can
question.
highlight for.
Yeah.
Great question.
So, any other? Tell me why you mad? You know what I'm saying?
I can go on.
But nah, man, today was definitely a special one for me. But y'all already know, man, we're gonna catch y'all next week. Thank y'all for saying, love y'all. Back to the basics. Y'all